What's going on, crew? We down here in Orange County with Mark again. We're back at West Pac. I got Earl the Pearl with me, Pistol Pete behind the camera, and some little friends that I'm excited to introduce to you. We got some real bowlers that have been starting out at an early age to show you that the youth is still alive in bowling. We're gonna be talking about some of the basics. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna see some good bowling, as always. But tune in, we got Mark Baker, best coach in the game. Got some of the best young bowlers that I've seen around, and you're gonna be able to take your game to the next level, even learning from a kid. Let's get it. So, I'm gonna introduce our first bowler today. He's the best dressed one today. This is Kasen right here. Kasen, how old are you?
8.
8 years old. How long have you been bowling?
Maybe like 1 year.
1 year? Have you enjoyed it so far?
Yeah.
What do you know your highest game?
165.
165, so I know there's some of you out here that haven't bowled a 165 yet, so I'm sure he's got you. You love bowling?
Yeah.
You want to do it for a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah? Have you done some tournaments?
Yeah.
You have? How'd you do?
Good.
You did good? Does that mean you won? Not yet? Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Do you know your average?
No.
No? Let's see if Pops knows your average. He's looking it up. Pops is looking up the average right now, but I love your outfit, man. Yeah, you got a lot of bowling shirts?
No.
No? Well, I'm gonna have to get you a new one. We're gonna get you a cleanup crew shirt. How about that?
Okay.
That sound good? Yeah, I'm gonna get you a cleanup crew shirt. So, do you know the bowling alley you bowl out of? I see you have Jewel City. You're from California, right? Yeah? Jewel City Bowl, is that your bowling alley?
Yeah.
Say shout out to Jewel City Bowl.
Shout out to Joe City Bowl.
There we go. Shout out to Jewel City. So his average is a 101. We just got confirmation from ESPN that his average is a 101. Thank you, Sports Center team. 101, that's pretty good. You're averaging over 100. You know a lot of people don't do that, right?
Yeah.
You do know that, so you know you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. That's confidence. See, confidence is key. He's already got the confidence. Okay, we're going to throw some balls in. I got a good friend over there, Mark Baker, who's one of the best coaches you've ever heard of or never heard of in the world that really is going to help you become a better bowler. You excited for that? Yeah, so we're going to talk to Mark. He's going to give you some coaching, and we're going to see how much better we can get you today.
Okay.
That work? Say shout out to the crew.
Shout out to the crew.
There we go.
So here I am with Kasen, and I coach a lot of kids, but I tend not to coach many kids this little. Just when they get to the age of 12, then they're taking a lesson for themselves, not for their parents. For you parents out there, if the kid's not asking for the lesson, don't make them take a lesson. Anyways, here we are with Kasen. The first thing to find out most important is the weight of the ball. What happens is we try to get our kids in too heavy of a ball because we get tired of our kids getting 9 count. Remember this, 9 spare is a good frame. So 9 counts are okay. I'm not supposed to ask this question, but I'm gonna ask it because I'm not politically correct. How much do you weigh?
I don't know.
I don't know, which means it's less than 40. So he weighs about what my right thigh weighs. So he has 2 balls on the rack, a 9-pounder and an 11-pounder. The 11-pound ball is over 25% of his body weight. That's why I don't like it, because he can't literally swing the ball swings him. So always make sure you let your kid throw the lightest ball possible for the longest time. They have more control of the ball, they won't get tired, and they won't get hurt. So Kasen, get your 9-pound ball and let's give it a shot. Remember, I have a little more oil on my lanes than you do, so stand a little farther right. Your goal is just to get on the lane, hit some pins. See, all you needed was the camera on.
Yeah, he's a star. And it's through the box.
Yeah! We're trying to get his ball over the foul line. A little farther back, you want to scoot up on the approach, make the lane a little shorter. So you're all the way back here when you throw it. So you're making the lane really, really long. You struggle with ball speed. So the closer you can get to the foul line, the faster it makes your ball is. The farther away from the foul line you are, makes your ball even slower. So I'd probably move up about a foot or foot and a half on the approach. Do the same thing. Obviously, we have different size feet. Fire away. Hit it. Look at that. You just needed the cameras turned on to concentrate on. By getting him closer, his ball actually landed on the lane. As you can see in slow motion, he throws it, loses the microphone, but he doesn't lose his concentration. Look at his eyes right there on the target. Very good. because he's so slight, and even though it's a 9-pound ball, I'd say he don't weigh very much. Best dressed one here, only person with a shirt tucked in, so we'll give him points for that. But because he's so light, controlling the ball is the most important thing, and if he can get the ball over the foul line and get it towards the pins, he'll have a lot more fun.
What size would you go, or what pound would you recommend?
Usually you grab him, you have him grab your wrist. If I grab my arm, now try to hurt me. No, hurt me.
Ow.
Ow, I got it, no. So usually their grip pressure is how I go for ball weight. But with a young person this size, 8-9 pounds is what I would start with. You think he's throwing a 9-pounder, 8's fine. You don't want to get too heavy because then the ball will start moving his shoulders all around. So as long as he can control the ball and get it on the lane with a little bit of balance, that's what you're looking for. I don't tend to coach kids this age. Why? I just want them to have fun. You know what the easiest way to make your average go up? Hit a pin that's closest to you every first shot. If the head pin's up, hit that one. Whatever you leave, whatever pin is nearest you, hit that one every time. I guarantee your average go up. Have no 0 shots.
Okay.
Fire away. Much better. Do it again.
Come on back. Come on back.
All right, all right. Very good. You didn't miss left. There you go. Hit the one in front of you. Much better. See, now, before he was about 2 feet behind that. Now he's facing his target. The ball's on the lane. Good follow through. No lack of effort. He's given every ounce of energy he's got. So I get asked all the time to coach my son. He's 8 years old. I really go out of my way not to. And here's why. Phil Mickelson's one of the greatest golfers of all time. He can do things around a green pretty much no other golfer in the world can do. Why? As a kid, he had no coaching. His dad put him in the backyard, said, figure it out. He hit him behind going the wrong way. He hit him straight up in the air. A lot of times when you let kids just experiment their own way, they will learn to do things you can't teach them as a bowler because they're doing it by instinct and by feel. And the best bowlers of all time are all field players. So when they're little, let them have fun. Try to get them to do the best they can. Have no expectations. If my son's watching this, Gage, sorry, I don't do as well coaching you as I do coaching him, obviously. But let your kids have as much fun as possible, especially with this age. Like I said, hit the pin nearest you, let them bowl all they want, and let them enjoy and love the game as I do. Thanks.
How long you been rocking the mullet, Frankie?
A year, maybe?
A year? That's your signature now, huh?
Yeah.
You're like Slim. You know Slim?
Nope.
Oh, Slim, he's the guy that makes all the balls for Roto Grip. No? He's Simo's ball rep too. Shout out to Slim. But this is Frankie Katz. You're from Orange County, right?
Yeah.
How long you been bowling?
Like 2 years.
2 years? What's your highest game?
298.
298. I know he got a bunch of y'all beat on that one. What was I going to say? So I actually have a crazy story. I actually found Frankie from a viral video that you guys have probably seen. I'm a basketball fan, as you guys know. Played basketball in college. You know what I'm about to say, right?
Yep.
Saw this viral video of this kid. He throws a ball. He turns around. And you tell me the rest of it.
I just go like this, and then I turn back around.
Where'd you get that from?
My dad.
He got it from his dad, who is like 6'57". I don't know how tall this guy is, but he's huge. And he's clearly a basketball player. So I can tell you guys got basketball in the family as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So he's a multi-athlete. He's a bowler. He's almost got his first 300. I know you probably was killing you. We got that 298, huh?
Yeah.
You know what pins you left?
A 2.8.
2.8. That's tough. He even knows the pins. See, bowling isn't dead. How old are you?
I'm 11.
11 years old. So I'm willing to bet that majority of our audience probably hasn't bowled a 298 yet. But do you know your average?
Like 190 to 200, maybe?
190 to 200. So you're hearing it from him himself. We might have to take some challengers. I think there's going to be some people trying to call you out after this, and we're going to have to show them up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to do some fun things today. We're going to have you work with Mark, and you've been working with Mark before, right?
Yeah.
How long have you worked with Mark?
Like 8 months, a year maybe?
And how is it working with Mark? You can tell me the
Good.
truth. You like it?
I like it, yeah.
He's a good coach, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the best. So a lot of people out there are worried about skill level and, age when working with someone like Mark. Prime example, doesn't matter. So we're going to get to it. We're going to have some fun today, and we're going to rock out. Say shout out to the crew.
Shout out to the crew.
Shout out to the crew. Let's get it.
I've worked with Frankie quite a bit. Frankie, go ahead and throw a shot. So this is actually a really good thing to work on. We're here in Southern California and we're going through our typical September heat wave. So what happens? We have synthetic approaches. When it gets this hot and this humid, I've had the AC pumping since 7:30 this morning, but it's going to get hot in here. It's going to be 105 outside. Synthetic approaches will get tacky. So him using his legs more when the approaches are tacky are huge. All that happens is he took some time off and he's stuck. So this time try to feel your legs and try to have a smoother slide.
Okay.
Much better shot. He got his legs underneath him. All the kids are all pretty slight, so they're all putting a lot of muscle into it, but he got the ball in the lane. See this little bit of knee flex right here? That's all he needs. The shot before that, his legs straightened out, so the ball hit much closer to the foul line. This one's going to get out in the lane better. He's going to turn it later and look at his balance. Much better. Ring in 10, but he gave himself a chance. Frankie is only 11, but he's very tall. I've been friends with his dad since, well, I was friends with his dad when I was taller than his dad. Now his dad's about up here. So he comes from and his grandfather's very tall, Eddie. So they come from a very tall family. So getting their legs underneath them is everything. Now you add in sticky approaches. If his legs are underneath him, he's going to struggle. But if he gets his legs underneath him, he can hit a target. Obviously 11 years old, Frankie does a lot of things very, very well. And he's trying to convince me that school doesn't start till next week. I'm pretty sure he's playing hooky. Or you have the latest starting school in the United States?
Yes.
Yes. I think. All right. Fair enough. And there you go. So there's the giant difference between today's kid and the kids that bowled when I bowled. None of us hooked it that much. He just walks up, and as he shows you, his thumb's in the ball. Not every kid in the world bowls two-handed. There's two-handed and there's one-handed. Both are effective. People love them both. But as you can see how much his ball hooked, same thing applies. Excellent timing, good leverage. Got the foul line the right way. Here you go, slow motion. We go back, his hand's going to catch it. Now he just got his legs underneath him. Right there at the end of his toe, on the lane, head doesn't move much. And today's modern bowling ball, if you roll it the right way, you can create a lot of room down lane. So obviously this ball is a little stronger on the back. And there's another difference between my era and this era. If I left back-to-back 10 pins at 11, I was pretty excited. They leave back-to-back 10 pins, ball change. That game has changed. Either get on board or get off. For all the old guys in my era that complain about it, it just is what it is. Make a move, throw a strike. There you go. Made the ball change, moved in. For all you old guys, stay off my lawn. It's a new sport. Is it right or is it wrong? I don't know, it just is. So he made the ball change, he moved in, and he got a different reaction. That's where the game's changed. As a coach, I have absolutely no problem with it. If I was still bowling, it would take me a while to get used to it, but I still think it's great. Throw another one. There you go. So you can see Frankie's 11 years old, throws the ball great, thumb in, thumb out, doesn't matter. You still got to have balance, you still got to have timing, you still got to hit a target. And today's game, you better make sure you got that right ball in your hand. Obviously, he's got a couple different options. You always use the one that takes the least amount of effort to get the desired result. Good job, Frankie.
So we got our third bowler today, and she's already giggling. I think she's a little bit nervous, but we got our lone female today, Tiana. How are you feeling?
Nervous.
She's a little bit nervous. How old are you?
14.
14. So I met Tiana at my bowling alley that I bowl at with Nedka. We're out here in the Valley in Los Angeles. And I remember the first time I saw you, I thought to myself, she's got one of the prettiest balls I think I've seen in this bowling alley. How do you feel about that? You know you have a good ball, right? You have to know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you hear it a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so you guys are going to see this firsthand, but great bowler. How long have you been bowling?
Like 4 years.
4 years. So you've been bowling since you were 10 years old. 10 years old? And you got into it, I'm guessing. I know her grandfather or mother. I know pretty much half of her family at this point. From your family?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why didn't you get into it sooner?
I used to play basketball and then gymnastics. So like I didn't
And
really.
bowling took you back. You came back to bowling after that?
Yeah.
So do you want to bowl in college or be a pro? Do you have any goals?
Yeah, probably bowl in college.
Yeah, you want to bowl in college? Yeah? Okay, so we're going to get this girl a scholarship. Okay, that's good to know. Okay. And what's your highest game?
School 79.
279. So you had a 9 spare. Do you remember what pin it was?
I think the 10 pin.
Oh, those 10 pins. Mark's going to tell you should fall in love with them. I have other feelings about the 10 pin. Do you know your average?
Like 180 to 190.
180 to 190. Hey, she's a killer. I tried to tell you. So, are you excited to work with Mark? Have you ever worked with him before?
I've never worked with him.
Yeah. Do you have a coach that you work with usually?
No.
No.
Just my family.
See, so she's just a self-made bowling star. You see that? We out here doing big things, guys. But yeah, so we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna throw some shots, and Mark's gonna work with you. We're gonna play some games, and we're gonna have a good time. Say shout out to the crew.
Shout out to the crew.
You knew I was gonna ask you that, didn't you? Yeah, shout out to the crew.
I've had a chance to work with Tiana just a little bit before we start. I've never seen her bowl. Now, this is very, very common in the, what are you going to call it? Young girls, young females. They tend to be told to get low. Her problem was when you get to the timing spot from here, what you want to think about is the ability to keep your chin away from your kneecap the same. What they get in trouble in trying to get low, their head goes down towards their kneecap. So if you watch me from the back, when her head stays up, and that distance stays consistent, her hand will get here, she'll throw it on the lane. Her misses tend to be pulls left, right? Her head goes down. When your head goes down, it bumps your swing out. Her head's getting closer to her kneecap. Her shoulder goes forward. Now the target didn't move, but your swing's on the outside. So we're gonna work on her head and her knees staying at a constant distance, see if we can get a little more consistent release, and more importantly, hit that target more often. Excellent. Ball hooked up, very good. First thing you notice, she has excellent footwork, slides back on the same board, trying to keep that head up, because that puts the hand there on the lane. And look at that distance between her chin and her knee. That lets her elbow go forward. If her head were to come down, her arm would look like this. And when you see that shot with the arm broken out like that, with the elbows facing the wall and the hands over the top, invariably you come over the top and miss left. Go ahead and do it again. As I always say, I always like when they make me look smart. Thank you. I'll have a job for another month. If you can control your head, you can control your hand. And there was nobody ever better than that than Earl Anthony. They always made the thing like you put a glass of water on Earl's head and there'd be no water spilt during a shot. Earl never had the best release. Earl had the most consistent release. Why? He controlled his head as well or better anybody in history of bowling, so he controlled his hand as well as anybody in bowling. His record speaks for itself. As her chin stays away from her knee at that same distance, her hand's doing the same thing. That finish position right there is what every bowler's looking for. That is the universal shot of a good shot. That's what it looks like. She's not moving. It's actually a slide in my PowerPoint presentation. When somebody throws it correctly, at the end of their slide, all you see doing is her arm swinging, it hits the pins, they take a step straight back. Bowlers can't even stop themselves on the good shots. Push it out. When you hold it high, sometimes it's hard to push it out, you just drop it. Some people hold it too high, the tendency is just to drop the ball. You want to hold it a little lower so your elbow can move that hand forward to create more of a swing. A little lower. There you go. So what we did is very common. Tiana had her arm up pretty high. When you get the arm up this way, it's very hard to have a push away. So all we did was lower her arm in her stance. Because all you're trying to do is get that elbow and move that hand forward 2 or 3 inches to create a swing. If you stand here like this and you push it out and your arm stays level, your shoulders stay up, you have a push away. When you hold it high, it's very hard to push it forward. So people tend to just drop it. If you drop it, there's no swing, then you have to pull it up and pull it down. and those were her misses to the right. Now we'll watch. Push weight goes out. Everything else takes care of itself. Excellent timing. Controlled her head. There we go again, the same balance. Hit her target. And she got the desired result. So all you colleges out there, she's 14, just now getting into it. I'd imagine she gets pretty good grades. She give you grades? She gets, they say yes, they actually do. See that time? That's when your head gets closer to your chin, arm went out, that's why you missed left. Because nobody's missing their target on purpose. Nobody says, oh, I missed left because. There had to be a reason. As your chin got lower to her knee, her arm had to go to the outside, and there's the result. Not bad. Make sense?
So that was actually really, really fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how you felt about that, but I love watching kids be able to learn new material, especially when they're so excited about the sport at a young age too.
Oh, coaching kids is a blast. I've had a great run with kids the last 10, 15 years as a coach here in Southern California. And for one, they're super athletic. So their bodies are still young, they can do whatever you ask. Yeah. So I think the key to coaching kids, the kids that want to be coached, get great results. I don't like coaching kids whose parents want them to take lessons. The kid doesn't want to be here. I'd much rather like these kids really wanted to be here today. Yeah. I'm not sure if they wanted to be here or skip school. I'm not sure which one worked out. So they like being here. But as you saw, they all did exactly what I wanted. And all you have to do with the kids is give them very minor tips. The least amount of instruction, the best, and let their natural body figure it all out. But as you can see, they all had their thumb in, so they weren't two-handers. They all had great success very, very quickly. So it doesn't matter whether it's one-handed or two-handed. The most important thing is that they love the game and they can't wait to go to the bowling center every day to practice. Yeah. And if they do that, any coach they work with will probably get pretty good results. Today they were a blast. Each and every one of them was unique, but they're still a lot of fun to work with.
They really are. It's funny. Most of the people that I bowl with now all say that you coached them as a junior. No lie, like 90% of the people.
So why do you got to say that my hair looks gray on my shoulder? I'm getting a little grayer. I am getting old. No two ways about it. But so that just means I've been around a long time.
Yeah, and it's a testament though that they all talk about how, and they're all good bowlers. I mean, I'm usually asking good bowlers how long they've been bowling.
Bad bowlers quit.
Yeah.
So if they're good bowlers, I mean they stayed in it.
And that's what I think is really important about the sport growing. So you heard it from the best. Thank you so much for that. Shout out to all the kids. I think they're all leaving here better than they came.
And always, even when the kids I coach, it's always thanks to the parents. Yeah. Without the parents' involvement, when they're taking less of their money and coming down and spending all their time on their time, that's how the kids get better. So the kids at home, always say thanks to your parents. Yep. Right, Gage?
Honor your parents, guys. Crew out.
You just gotta, not throw it right at 5.
I'm retiring. I don't even.